OBIdient. So also, please indulge me to inform the House. Of course, I'm sure you're also aware that this conversation will be recorded for possible extract of suggestions and ideas on how to get things forward in the from the Secretariat for proper documentation. So, evening, everybody. The discussion is basically about Labour Party. Where are we coming from, or where have we been coming from, and where are we now? And of course, what lies in the future ahead of us. It is important that we reflect and, of course, redefine uh, what our objectives will be going forward in tandem with the party objectives. So, and of course, we also want to identify what our roles will be in achieving these already determined objectives of the Labour Party. Labour Party continues to be the only platform, according to its beautiful constitution, that will allow Nigerians, irrespective of religion, irrespective of profession, irrespective of tribe, and irrespective of their economic income, uh, to participate in politics and, of course, contribute their quota to the progress and development of the nation. It's only this party that has that platform, that robust platform for everyone to exercise their constitutional right of being voted for, and of course voting for people without any discrimination across the socio-demographics of persons. So without taking too much of our time, I'm going to throw the floor open for, of course, contributions from here and there. Basically, I just want to set the tone of this discussion straight. We are looking at where we have been coming from. We are also looking at where we are now. We are also looking at what lies in the future. So we're going to be taking where we're coming from. What did we do rightly? What was our good points? What do we need to correct going forward? And all of that in telling our story of where we're coming from. So please, you signify. Let's also understand that there are ground rules. Um there will be no interjection of anyone talking. Of course, everybody will be observed. Once you raise your hands, of course, you will have your microphone passed to you by unmuting yourself. But of course, let's make sure that the minutes are very short, about 4 minutes at most. We will appreciate lesser than that, so that you can deliver your point and others too can also be able to deliver their point. So at this point, I'm going to throw the floor open, but don't forget that we have amidst us reputable Labour Party members and elders who are in the house to give us all of the information that we probably need. We'll be calling on them rather shortly after now. But of course, let's have some of the opinions to wet the ground and let's set the ball rolling. I see a couple of hands up. So please, Mr. Somebody's hand is up. I'm having issues with my screen. Um, okay, so I see Mr. Adewale. Also, it is advised that we try to limit the visuals so that the network will not really be dragged too much. So Mr. Adewale's hands are up, or is up. Then we have Mr. Jethro as well. So Mr. Adewale, you go first, and then we'll take it from there with Mr. Jethro. Thank you.
Okay, good evening, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yeah, good evening, sir, Mr. Adewale.
Good evening, sir.
Good
Mr.
evening,
Adewale.
sir. Yeah, I'm happy to be over here. I mean, to join you in this meeting, and I'm connected from Ota in Ogun State. Hello, can
Oh,
you hear me?
great.
Great,
All
great.
right.
We are happy to hear you from Otta.
Yeah.
How is Otta doing?
Yes, we are
Fine,
with you.
fine. We are fine over here.
Okay.
Um, Really, I shouldn't be the one representing or talking about, the activities of the Labour Party members over here. But I know my leaders will connect with you later after this online meeting. I do follow Lagos State program, and I've not been seeing any serious, I'm sorry, with the word serious, activities concerning Labour Party members. There's no, apart from what we are having right now, there's no connectivity among the members, the people that we know one another as Labour Party members. There have not been any meeting, no convergence of ideas, for a long time after the elections. What are the leaders doing concerning that? In Lagos State, they have programs that will make the members to connect, I mean, continuously, on a continuous level with the leaders to know that they are still doing something, in terms of Labour Party activities. But I've not been able to see that. Thank you so much. If you can answer that, if I have any other question, I want to give others room to ask their questions. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Adewale. I was hoping you were going to tell us about the Labour Party activities in your local government. But of
Yeah,
course, we have
that's why I
been.
said I don't want to be the one, because
No, 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 no. The beauty of this event, if you look at it well, is organized by Ogun Ballot Revolution.
okay,
Is a support group that has been
okay,
involved in Labour Party all this while. So we are also
okay,
intervening to
okay,
bridge, because now it's not about highlighting the problems; it's about bringing solutions. So rather than
yes,
us complaining that anything, we have organized this and we have brought very knowledgeable leaders of the organization,
all
and
right,
of course, we sure are going to bet that progress will really happen in Ogun State Labour
all
Party.
right,
Thank you for your submission. I'm going to direct your question to uh, our gubernatorial candidate, the leader
okay.
of the party in this state.
Thank you so much.
Uh,
Yeah.
so I don't know if Comrade Kennedy Shogunla is still with us. It would be nice if he
Okay,
takes that
thank you very
question.
much. I'm very much with you. Thank you very much for everyone that has come to this family meeting. I would say, like say, this is not a party meeting. It's actually a support group meeting, just to stimulate things so that we can continue to engage ourselves. We
All
are not
right,
making decisions there. We are just making suggestions. And we
okay,
expect that this will be a culture of, and then whatever we suggest there, we will then see how we can implement it, and then maybe refer it to the
okay,
party to actually implement. So that's why it's
okay,
conversation really. And I would
all
like to
right,
recognize quite a lot of people that I've seen here. Mrs. Titi Lolaero, you are welcome. Mr. Wezo Richard, you're also welcome. I also see Chairman Samuel Olaolu of Shagamu local government, you are welcome. I think they have recognized quite a lot of the other people. It's nice that we're having people from various shades of interest here. And I reckon that we will support them. We will continue this. This is just starting, and we shouldn't mind the
yes,
attendance. And I think this will also continue.
yes,
Just to mention that we have not had much. A lot has been happening behind. You agree with me that can we put your video off so that a lot of people can hear us, and then the data, your own data, will also be saved in a way. And we have seen your face, Mr. Adewale.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Um,
I will do something on that.
okay. Immediately after the elections, we actually we went for the alliance for the elections, and immediately after the elections, we've been trying to re-strategize and reconcile and restructure so that we can have a viable party. And a lot of some of our own efforts have been at the level of the alliance to make sure that our party that contributed significantly towards the success, not other towards some form of success, at least of the party that we aligned with PDP for the election, we support them to actually win the case at the courts, and we thank God that thus far, from what indications we have seen, we have a very strong case. I was made the chairman of the elections review committee, which is supposed to look at all the issues around the elections. And most of us were some of us were also members of that committee, and we worked assiduously to make sure that we presented some cases to the lawyers that they now went to court to push forward. So a lot of us have been monitoring what has been happening, particularly in Ogun State, on that, to make sure that at least they see us as supporting them towards winning, so that once they win, they can fulfill the terms of the alliance. That is on one part. On the other part is the fact that at the national level also, you know that a lot of people were also involved in the OB is making sure that we all know what was happening and whatever we can do to support that. We had to transport a lot of our materials to Abuja. Can you mute yourself, please? To Abuja. And just about that time also, the tenure of the caretaker committee was going to expire. So we had to then move to Abuja to make sure that the tenure is continued. Beyond that, also there was some misunderstanding, which we need to also submit between the ESCO about even and some of the issues that arose from the election, particularly the compensation. And we had to spend time to reconcile, to bring people in, to reconcile issues, to create understanding. And I think a lot of that has finished now. So actually there was supposed to be registration, and I think the Capital Committee was working on that registration before even a Congress, which was already being planned, but we were advised by the national body to suspend the Congress, but we should continue with the registration. So essentially, that's on the level of the of the party, and even the chairmen of local governments have also come together, and they have been trying to maybe even discuss at their own levels about how to move the party forward. So really, some of those things are happening, and we just feel that we should continue to discuss, get more understanding, and a lot of misunderstanding happened immediately after the election. So all that, we will be spending time to be one body. And you should also recognize the fact that we're also challenged externally by some of our, what I can call traducers, because the problem in Labour Party today, nationally, have actually started with our states. So we need to also be very careful about how we move, so that we won't get distracted by that kind of conflict again. So that is why we've looked at the tempo of the direction of what is happening among the other contestants or the other parties that are challenging us. And then we've seen that we need to begin to stabilize now, engage ourselves, so that we can then begin to plan for going forward. So that would be what you can see that has been happening. But if you look at all the platforms, particularly the Labour Party platform, the WhatsApp platform, you can see that there were quite a lot of activities. And I know in most of the other groups, Ogun West, Ogun Central, Obafemi Owode, Obafemi Owode, Ikenne, Shagam local government, there has been quite a lot of interactions going on. And I think this is also signaling the fact that we can't be too quiet. This support group has identified that one of the best ways for us, if we have not done Congress, and if is for us to be discussing about our challenges, our issues, what have been our strengths, what have been our weaknesses, what have been our threats. And I think that is just the culture is just starting now. And I think it will continue like this, so that we can begin to have a venue for us to hear ourselves. We should also don't recognize, we should also not lose sight of the fact that the economy is not really easy for everybody. Convening physical meetings can be very bit challenging. We are not money back, so a lot of those logistics around convening physical meetings may be difficult. But where there's a will, there's also always a way. So we think that if we continue to have this kind of interaction, some strategies can be involved, and then we can begin to build the basis for a virile party. We all came together as one, came together with the objective of to win elections within a very short time, and we didn't have enough time to actually even structure, despite because of also the fact that a lot of us were distracted by the activities of the people that we met in the party. But I think now that things are stabilizing, and this is the time for us to begin to plan the way forward for the party. Thank you. If there are any other issues later, we'll talk about it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, comrade. That was very insightful. I'm sure Mr. Adewale is okay with some of these explanations that have been made. But of course, don't worry, some of these leaders will still come and join us, and we'll still ask them more questions. I see the hand of Jethro Emmanuel up. Will you unmute yourself and, of course, join the conversation? Don't forget, the blocks of which we are discussing on is about where Labour Party was coming from, where we are now, and what our plans are for the future. This conversation is organized by a support group known as the Ogun Ballot Revolution. Um, we have elders of the party in here, and we also have members of the party joining us. So please feel free. This is a town hall meeting, different from Ballot Blue. Mr. Jethro, unmute yourself. I see your hand up. Mr. Jethro Emmanuel, are you there?
Yes, I'm there. Good evening, My Excellency.
Evening, my brother.
I really appreciate this moment, sir. It's been a long time. We have once met you once again. I'm Jethro Emmanuel, the coordinator of support group Nepoda, Ota-Adodo, local government, and I'm the assistant secretary, Labour Party, also in the Jew ward. I'm very happy with this privilege of having joining this meeting with you, sir, His Excellency, and my able comrades. The issue I just see in Ogun State generally, let me just generalize this. It may not be only in Ota. My suggestion is we have to look into the grassroots area, because when we are talking of election and when we are talking of anything party, there's nothing like grassroots. And I see in Ogun State, the grassroots are just lacking behind. Generally in Ogun State, that is why a lot of things happening. And the problem is most of the local government ESCO, they are not well functioned. That is the basic truth. They are not well functioned. They can be presenting themselves in Abeokuta, but the issue is what I observe is what I'm talking about right now. Local government, in every local government, all the ESCO in local government in Adodo, I'm not seeing any active in them. That is not how to do. That is not how to run election, and that is not how to the way they do. That's why you see, like me, when I'm just the kind of person that I love politics, and I love to be in politics. Why? Because politics is social. We have to look into the structure, the local government structure in every local government.
Please take the left from my
I will look into that very well. Why?
Hello,
Because
Mr. Jethro.
yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. We're beginning to lose your voice there. But I think you've submitted your point. You are saying that can we mute, please? Can we mute ourselves, please? Thank you. You've submitted your position, Mr. Jethro, that a lot of local government representatives or executives are not really on ground carrying out the practical work. That is interesting. So please, Honorable Akib will help us hold on to that while we take another person, so that you probably would attend to those questions together. So we are going to take Uwezo or Richard. So if you have been observed, please, you can drop your hands. Don't forget that the background of this discussion is that we want to x-ray where we have been coming from. We want to also x-ray where we are now, and of course see what we can do, what will be our roles in all of this going forward. Again, this conversation is organized by a support group, trying to make sure that we don't complain again, because we want to always just solve the problems. So this conversation, we are hoping, will be repetitive, will be continuous, and this is just the beginning. Every person observed here will have about 4 minutes to express themselves, tell us about the local government award. Thank you so far. We've had Mr. Adewale Adeyemi, and of course we just had the last speaker. So we are about having Mr. Wezo Richard. Please observe your microphone, and of course, let's hear from you.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. As mentioned, I
Good evening, my brother.
I'm from A4 local government. I happen to be the coordinator of TBN A4 local government, and at the same time, the coordinator of constituency 2 in A4 local government. I just want to quickly just suggest that all these things happening, like the convener said earlier. I'm sorry, one of the speaker mentioned most of these problems that happen at the national level were orchestrated from Ogun State, most especially by Rabambi and others, and most of even Ashadi himself and others. So, but we observed that since we got this judgment 2 days ago or yesterday, that is confirming our chairman as authentic chairman of the party. I want to suggest that we hold a rally in Abeokuta. This same rally is just an awareness rally whereby we move around major town, and if this can be replicated in each of the three senatorial districts, focus should be, as someone mentioned, where voter strengths are much. So that that same day we do this rally, we should be ready to register people on the spot. Once we are able to do all of this, because after election, a lot of parties just go back to sleep. But once they see us on the street, yes, they know we are very active on social media and every other activity. But if they see us back on the street, just a rally, having all the contestants that are still with us joining us on that rally, being the fronter on this rally, it will go a long way in encouraging members of the public to identify with Labour Party, even after when we gain our mandate by His grace. Every other thing we want to do thereafter will be much easier. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Wezo, all the way from E4. Thank you. Great contributions. Of course, I will allow Honorable Adeshola Akib, who happens to be the senatorial deputy chairman for the West senatorial district. Mr. Adeshola Akib can reflect on what Mr. Detro said earlier, how some of these executives at the local government are not fully on ground. Let me do it like this. Let me take, I don't know if Mr. Engineer Ojo Duke is here to comment on what Jethro said earlier about non physical presence of the LG executives who happens to be present in Abeokuta when things happen in Abeokuta, but are not present in their own place and even the grassroots there. So I don't know if Mr. Duke will take that up. Mr.
Yes, can
Duke,
I
are you
suggest,
there?
Mr. Ayo, can I suggest something so that we will not be doing question and answer? There are people who
Okay,
have raised
okay,
up their hands to talk, like Johnson
okay,
Moses, Taiwo Elekeza. Let them say,
okay,
let them raise their issues or raise their suggestions. Then we can then
okay.
distribute it to other people to respond. There are another set of people who also
Oh,
raise up their hands, so that it will be
okay.
easy. It will not be just one question, one answer, one question, one answer.
Okay.
So
Thank
yeah,
you so much.
because so that they don't
Thank you
lose
so much.
track of what they are saying. Yes.
Okay. All right, sir. Thank you. Okay. So let me give the background again. We are here in this conversation to discuss where we're coming from, where we are, and of course, where we are going to. Our roles and responsibilities. We, as the support group, Ogun Ballot Revolution, we are taking our responsibility already by trying to organize this conversation and bring the members and the executives together so that we can forge a progressive front. So I'm going to be observing Mr. Johnson Moses. I think you're next. So please, 4 minutes, and let's have your say. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My great leaders, I greet you all.
Good evening, Mr. Johnson. We are enjoying you. Please go ahead.
Uh, Please, my observation based on what I've observed for for the past period that we have been in my own unit, where I'm under Adio Diota, still a Jew ward. The Mr. Jethro that spoke is a very good friend of mine, and we have been into this movement together from onset when we started the movement, and I have seen his zeal and his seriousness. He even made me have that confidence that yes, we are going to achieve what we are working towards, and God will be by our side. Our mandate will know we will reclaim it. My contribution is concerning the angle whereby in the period we were running for the election, we used to have meetings upon meetings upon meetings upon meetings, and those meetings used to give us encouragement. We used to see a lot of us coming out, But immediately after the election, we discovered that, most especially in the Iju world, I've seen that they have called meeting once or twice, but at the end, the meeting will not have, it will not still hold, and we will not be able to meet ourselves again. I don't really know if there are some things, maybe some motivations to be able to encourage those leaders, or to be able to see how we can come back again as we started that movement in that same spirit. If there's anything for us to do that will encourage them, I think this is one of the things that we are doing right now. And secondly, I want to also talk about the aspect of. I know I have 2 minutes. Please, I will kiss nothing. I want to talk about the aspect of the financing of the movement. I discovered that some of our leaders that are there, I was doing this thing from my heart. I was not even expecting anybody to maybe support me, but it will reach a point whereby there are some places, there are some things that I will not be able to do, that I need the party executives that are planning towards, making things to work out for us, to also support us in some areas. But we discovered that it's only few persons that are using their own finances to want to run those things. But yes, at the beginning, that is how it ought to be. But as we progress, I don't think it should be so. We should organize ourselves. If there should be way for us to also be generating funds for ourselves, I think we should also, inculcate that in. We should bring in those ideas, those movements, those suggestions also. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Johnson Moses. Very lovely contribution so far. Of course, Iju word is showing that they are not just saying it, that they are very active in words. Of course, they have practicalized it here because we have about 2 of their members who have talked so far. So let's observe Mr. Taiwo Oyeleke. Your hands are up.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My name is Taiwo Oyeleke from
Good evening, Mr. Taiwo.
My name is Taiwo Oyeleke from Obafemi Owode local government, and also the coordinator of credible leadership support for Peter Obi during the last election. Firstly, I want to appreciate every one of us, most especially I could recognize some notable people, Comrade Olayemi, Engineer Duke, and some of us that have not decided to fit on this our last election, especially the presidential election. I know the Lord will reward us. My concern has been is that if at the end of the day, tribunal decide otherwise, perhaps for a rerun, what is the modality or what is preparation on ground? Because I've seen many people, they believe that that's all. Many people have decided to faith. But as a leaders in their respective domain or closer, whatever, what's their activities? I've not heard anything much. Believe me, they say, okay, there will be a rerun today or whatever, or run of something like that, and it's happened or it concerns us. You know, some people, even if they are dying like this, some people will still vote for APC. But it deserves or it requires our effort to convince and to make people know that, we can't go back to Egypt. But in the situation where everybody have just, that's all. We didn't even see some people, nothing happen or whatever. We just believe that, because the last election have gone, that's all. And then the second one is that, I know it's not a Labour Party something, but I believe there should be some kind of meeting, like what somebody say, probably that will make us to know more of our people. So I think if we have made a serious concern before, we won't make such a mistake of bringing to front people like Alabambia and people that are even spoiling our name as far as Ogun State is concerned. So we need more of engagement of the leaders, even to the grassroots. And I know from this meeting there will be more unity, so that at the end of the day we can get to where we are going. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Oyeleke Taiwo, Obafemi Owode, local government. We appreciate you. I'm sure that we are taking notes. All of your points are going to be, of course, addressed here. So let's take Mr. Osuji Chukwu Ebuka Ezekiel. 4 minutes max. We will appreciate if you do lesser. We appreciate you.
Hello, sir. Good evening, sir. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening. Good evening, Mr. Osuji.
Firstly, I want to appreciate the effort of everybody in the that make this to be possible. Initially, I don't want to have anything to do with any Labour Party, anybody in the state. But when this thing was sent and it was the sender, both of us spoke, I now get interest of being in this place. Number one point I want to make, because I like the contribution of everybody, how to gather ourselves, because it is obvious that many of us are sleeping off. But I want to be sincere here. You see, you cannot leave the head and come and break neck. I believe all the leaders, I'm sorry, I still stand to be corrected. All the leaders, starting from Ashade to Arabambi and the candidates of Labour Party in Ogun State, it's just because of needed somebody to contest. Then the party now move ahead and be picking everybody, everybody then wants and begging people to come and contest. And that's why we get people that are not qualified. I'm sorry to use that language. That are not qualified to contest election, to contest in Ogun State. Because I wish proper step are taken. Maybe we will not be where we are today. That's the leadership of I sorry to say it's nothing to write home about. But if we are talking about renovating the party, it's a very good idea. The contribution of the community that has spoken is a buy idea. Rally, yes, we can do it. And thank God for the judgment that has been taking place, restoring our national chairman in power. So my own kind suggestion is this: in anything we are doing, they are telling us that party do not have money, and we are doing everything with all our hearts, with all our mind, all our strength. I'm from Oshele. Ward. Oshele was 6 in Obantoko here. In yes, or the local government. Do you know we are putting our efforts, and yet people are going behind, taking the money from the party and from everywhere, and they are spending it lavishly on themselves. As I speak to you today, in fact, in my own area here, if I don't want to just be saying some things here. In my own area here, if you can come around so that you can know the area that I'm in. But yet, I was fearless. I moved in the day of presidential election. On the day of presidential election, I can send the video to any person that care to know. In a terrible situation, but I refuse to be moved, and because of what? I want to give my best to the party. And that's why I do my thing. I do my thing with all my heart. But it's obvious that at the end, people were after money, people were after position instead of doing the right thing. So my own agitation that when we are doing anything we are doing, please, we should not be in a hurry to select. We should not be in a hurry to announce anything that this is person that let us take our time, sir. The organizer of this thing, let us have a settle down and take our time. I'm angry with the governorship candidate of Ogun State. I believe it's on this platform. I personally, I called his number. I called him, but I refuse to call him because of what I'm calling him for. I believe you don't want to listen. You don't want to give me attention. I know that election will come when attention of everybody will be needed. And that time I'll be able to talk to him. Maybe he organize a program that I will talk to him one-on-one. So the organizers is a very good idea. Me, I will come outside and I'm betting that anywhere I have made up my mind to do it. But let us not be in a hurry. I'm not interested in any position, as I always said, but let us not be in a hurry to bring those that will take us back to square one after all these efforts. Thank you, man. Thank you, sir.
Very, very laudable contribution by Mr. Osuji. Thank you so much. It's the reason why we are here. Ogun Ballot Revolution is a support group and we saw that, of course, there was a problem of communications between the leadership, current leadership, and the members, and that's why this conversation is being organized. We are going to be a generation of problem solvers, not problem lamenters. And I've seen that being demonstrated here by all the people that have spoken earlier. They've all been professing solutions, from Mr. Jethro, from Mr. Dewale, Wezo, to Mr. Johnson, Moses, Mr. Oyeleke Taiwo, and finally Osuji again, giving us the spiritual bits that we need to understand in this business. We are trying to form a party that is different from the existing parties. We cannot continue to do things the same way and expect anything different as a result. You cannot build a party on the PDP, APC approach and expect something different. We need a party where people will be selfless, where people will be committed, where people will be sincere, and a platform where an ordinary Nigerian can walk into and be able to contest for positions such that his intention is to go and serve the people, not to go and steal from the people. So this is why we are putting all of this effort into what we are doing, and I appreciate this last comment so much, because anything that we are doing, we should put our hearts to it and do it sincerely. We have been on this, Ogun Ballot Revolution has been on this journey for several years. We were the ones that first initiated that there should be a third force in Ogun State, and we carried our people and found Labour Party as home even before Obi entered this party. So it's been a long journey for us. We are not going to quit, and we'll continue to do the little we can do to solve the problems that are bringing their heads up. I will leave the platform for one of the leaders of the party to attend to some of these suggestions that have been mentioned earlier, but I also indulge us that if you want to speak, this platform, we are hoping that everybody will have a word with all of us, and that's our objective this evening. So if you are interested in talking, please find the raise your hand button on your app, and of course we will see that you have raised your hand, then we can observe you. So prior to that, let me take some comments, very short, from Mr. Elder Adeshola Akib. He is the senatorial leader or senatorial deputy chairman for Ogun West. Mr. Adeshola Akib, you have the floor, sir. Okay, Mr. Adeshola Akib is not okay. He's here. So let's.
Very, very much with you. Once again, I really want to appreciate your efforts towards the reactivation of Labour Party in Ogun State. I want to use the word reactivation because we took our time to look at the length and breadth of Labour Party in Nigeria, and we felt that we just have to determine the pace with which we want to work. If we are to rely on the existing structure, we might not get to anywhere. Unfortunately, some of all the beliefs that we are Labour Party members are still behaving the other way around. The commitment, the honesty, the integrity is missing in some people. And you guys are the last hope of changing the narratives of Labour Party. Not even in Ogun State alone, in Nigeria. And the earlier we set the pace, the better. And fortunately for you, I think we share the same vision and we want to be with you at any point in time. Not lowering our integrity too, at the same time championing whatever you want us to champion. Please don't let us be discouraged. Don't let us be pulled down. Let us set our hands on the wheel and be focused on what we want to do. There have been a lot of behind-the-scene maneuvers, and I want to assure you we are definitely up to the task. Some people call themselves activists. Some people call themselves revolutionaries. but they are not. They are just saying it from the word of mouth. Their actions or whatever, of course, is the other way around. So I want to implore all the support groups, the local government chairmen, and whatever, to come to the rescue of the party in Ogun State and dictate the tune with which we want things to work out. In all honesty, if we really come together and we are focused, I believe you can dictate the tune. And definitely you have the support of responsible and reliable party members that will definitely tell you exactly where to go. Let me hold on. Maybe later. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Elder Akim. We call him the senior comrade. He is one of the activists in our caretaker executive committee, and always fighting for the interests of the forward ever mantra of the Labour Party. We still have, despite the realities that are before us, of course, we still have so many people that are committed to doing things differently. And of course, hoping that we see some very good results. Because just look at our situation in the country. The current president is doing the same thing others have done before, allocating political positions to, pledge to satisfy pledges and promises, rather than competence and merit. And of course, we know where that will take us. Is again a walk in the dark. And so we can't continue to do things the same way and expect some different results. That is what our realities are. So exactly why we are intervening now, and we want to see how we can build a new paradigm, and of course begin to set example across the nation, that we have a political party that is going to accept a washer, that is going to accept a mechanic, that is going to accept a civil servant, because they've also used civil service rules or lies to curb away the most informed people in the population. They say that civil servants cannot practice politics, but it's a lie. It is a lie. It's about weeding off the people that are informed, that can challenge their decisions, so that they can have a full-fledged day working with NURTW people to bring them to power, and of course be governing over those people. That's what they've done. But now, Labour Party's constitution allows for workers. In fact, it's a party, formed by workers. So, what is the excuse of a civil servant? You may not necessarily be partisan, but you will be a part of your ward meetings. You are contributing to it, but you are not partisan. You are not working as the secretary of your ward, or you are not working as the LG coordinator. So, these are some of the things that they've done to us, and I'm happy that we are beginning to unravel some of these lies, and we're beginning to find our voices. Look at most of them now. They are choosing commissioners that are young people just to appease us. They are feeling the heat. They know what we have, and that is the same heat we are going to bring into this Labour Party to rebut it. Thank you. We are going to take somebody else now. 4 minutes, please, and we'll be appreciative if you take it lower than 4 minutes. Mr. Isaiah Adeni from Abeokuta South, can we have you unmute yourself and of course contribute to the discussion in the house?
Thank you very much for the privilege. Good evening. I'm not going to spend up to 4 minutes. Now, currently, I had a conversation with some people this afternoon and telling them about the grassroots, and I discovered that most of them, their heart has been shattered because voting for the first time and discover that their vote does not count, and that even makes them to validate the fact that vote does not count. The question is, how do we get these people to believe in voting and to believe in party, because they don't believe in party any longer, and they don't believe in that politics counts, or they only believe that when you have money is when you can have your way into it. Then the second question is, in the community where I stay around Funab, the caucus that are not students or that are not youths are people whereby they believe that automatic go, but that when they bring money is what we are after, and that's when we work. How do we let them know that these things, these are the way things need to be done, and not the other way, and that things are being done before now? Then So now I want to ask that how can we get these people to come to understanding of this? How do we create awareness and how do we let them know about the party himself? Because currently it seems like Labour Party does not exist. Even when I put on my clothes, they always call me Obi, and so it's like Labour Party is dying after the election. So how do we resuscitate things? Thank you.
Followy has Mr. Ayo is disconnected. Is Obot online, please? Mr. Obot, can you hear me?
Obot is
Yes,
there. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
All
Yeah.
right.
Good
Okay.
evening. Okay. Yeah. I think he has disconnected. Okay. So yeah, thank you very much to the last speaker. I think we have gotten your question. That is, how can we motivate people to want to vote again or to be interested in party activities after they have felt that their voice have not their vote doesn't count. Thank you very much for that question. It has been noted. By the time any of the guest speakers is going to speak, they shall be addressed. So thank you very much. I think we will have to
thank
do
you,
the next.
thank you, Mr. Obos.
Yeah. Thank you.
I know Isaiah very well. Isaiah was one of those people that was posting uh, pasting posters across Oshiele camp and Obantoko, and he was doing it in the night and all of the villages around Alabata and all of that. Isaiah, again, I'm going to push that question back to you. I'm going to come back to you. So by the time I come back to you, I'm sure you have some suggestions because we have said we are going to be the solution generation, not problem lamenters. So Isaiah, I know you're a very vibrant young person. I'm going to come back to you. You're going to give us suggestions. We are assuming that you are the very heartbroken Labour Party first timer. What do you think we can do to you to appease you to get back on track with all of the motivation and inspiration? So I'm going to come back to you for your contribution, particularly on that same issue that you have highlighted. Thank you so much, Isaiah. Thank you for the past. Thank you for this current, and hopefully, we are praying that you will be with us going forward. So I also think we have some hands up. Um, Sorry, the next person that has their hands up should please unmute themselves and have their 4 minutes or lesser. Thank you. Hello.
Good evening, my Excellency and my able comrades. I'm still Mr. Jethro Emmanuel. Actually, my opinion to what is happening generally, let me just say generally in Ogun State, is still concerning this grassroots. And the what I mean by grassroots is the ESCO grassroots. What is their work? I'm very sorry for saying this, but I have to say this because I know what I'm talking about. Majority of them are just after their own, and that is not the way it's supposed to be in the party. When in this kind of things, when parties are coming up like this, you shouldn't. It is the party that's supposed to be first. And let me tell you the truth: in Nigeria nowadays, a lot of youth, truly, majority of youth has lose hope. But it's not maybe they are lose hope 100%. But I tell you, Labour Party is still the rescue team in Nigeria presently now, which let me just say 70% of the youth are still looking up to. But there is nothing we can do. It's still the grassroots that we have to come back. And thank God, His Excellency has made mention of one thing about the registration, which is very, very important. And moreover, there is nothing like Congress. All the executive, the ESCOs, both the party and every other support group should meet at Congress. But before the Congress, the grassroots is very, very important. All the ESCO, what is their input to the Labour Party, not their pocket? Thank you, sir, for this privilege.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jethro, once again. Iju Ward representing. I appreciate you. Of course, just to buttress more on why we are here, is just simply because we want to bridge the gap between the current Labour Party executives across local governments, across the state, and of course some words with the members, and especially non-party members that are interested in Labour Party. The conversation is Ogun Labour Party conversations. We are hoping that it will be a continuous one where we'll have the opportunity of meeting like this every other time. Most importantly, of course, we need this not just because of possible rerun, but of course, even if the Congress of the party is called, if not that the national suspended it, the Congress will have been held last month, where we, or most of us here that are so passionate about the party, did we really know how this will have gone? It will have gone to the hands of the same people that were complaining about. So what this conversation is bringing to our notice is that this is not actually the time to take the holiday. This is time to re-strategize, to take the bull by the horn. And maybe probably after Congress, we can now go to sleep if we wish to. Because at that time, you have actually elected responsible people into different offices, people that have been tested, that have been confirmed to be patriotic, to be honest and sincere and committed to a new direction of politicking, not the pocket-driven politicking of the other parties. So, and how do you even get to know those people if we have not been actually having conversations like this, if we have not been engaging ourselves? So I think this conversation is actually coming at the right time, and it's also a call to attention to us, especially young people and support group members, to know that the destiny of this party is in our hands. And if we don't manage it properly, some people will squeeze it to death in our hands, and they will say at the end of the day, they gave it to them, but they killed it. So this conversation is still about where we're coming from as Labour Party, where we are and where we're going. The first part is what we have been talking about since, where we are coming from. And you see a lot of retrospections into preparations to the presidential elections, and of course what we need to do going forward. So thank you so much for the contributions so far. I want to also appreciate some of our elders that have joined us. They've been here for a while. I can see amongst us engineer Dr. Akinpelu Shogunle. Baba played a lot of role in the elections, and of course we appreciate you for your fatherly nurturing, of course tutelage as well. We thank you so much. You're welcome. You may want to say some words to inspire us a bit. 4 minutes. Is Engineer Shogunle there?
Before he speaks, Mr. Taiwo Oluyemi has put up his hands for some time. Please, let's look at.
Okay, so while we wait for Engineer Shogunle, let's observe Mr. Taiwo. 4 minutes, and we'll appreciate you more if you do less than 4 minutes. Thank you. Mr. Taiwo, are you there? Oh, network, probably we lost Mr. Taiwo. Okay, he's back. Mr. Taiwo, can you have the floor? Mr. Taiwo. Okay,
it's like it's looking like some of these hands have spoken before. We may.
Yes.
No,
Mr. Taiwo has not spoken before. Mr. Osuji has spoken before. So while we wait for Mr. Taiwo to get back, we can take Mr. Ojo Patrick, who is the secretary to the local government. You can address all of these issues about grassroots. and some other things that you guys are doing to help us put a formidable structure in place, of course, at least through the Congress before we,
Okay.
thank you, Mr. Ojo. You can have the floor. Mr. Taiwo.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And
Mr. Ojo,
yes,
please, can you hold on a bit? Let's have Mr. Taiwo, then you address all of these suggestions together shortly.
thank
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 you.
you very much, sir.
You're welcome, sir. Good
Actually,
evening.
I'm very happy to be part of this program this evening. When I saw the information about 3 days ago, I'm praying that I should be informed when the meeting will start, and thank God that I joined the program. I just want to chip in something. I quite appreciate those that have spoken before, but I'm looking at it in another in a similar angle. Let me use that word because last election I participated in it and I took a lot of things to make sure that Labour Party is very stand in Ogun State, right from the state level down to the local government. I was part of the inauguration of Engineer Kehinde Sogunle at Abeokuta, and I even came back to my local government, which is Ijebu-Ode local government, and I worked assiduously for the party. But what I saw was that majority of the ESCOs at the state and world level, I don't see them taking it as important as we took it, because I discovered that majority of them just take the position and they are working for another party, especially the ruling party. I I single-handedly gave them some people to work as party agents. Up to today, they refuse to give them the money, which I later got that they collected that money. But I spoke with those people and I begged them and I asked them to forgo about it. But I'm looking at it that maybe we start from this grassroots, and we are not going to wait until the election is very close that we'll be looking for people to join the party or to work for the party. Thank God that the election has come and gone, and I believe that with the tribunal we still have our way, but then we still have to prepare our ground for the coming election. That is just my contribution, sir. Thank you.
So much. Thank you so much. Again, Mr. Taiwo has highlighted the being of the grassroots, and of course, the rightful person to address this is actually the representative of the local government chairman, who is Engineer Duke. So we're going to leave the floor for Engineer Duke now to expressly explain to us what is happening, what are the challenges, and how can we improve. Thank you.
Um, Good evening, everyone. Good evening, our leaders on this call. The leader of the party here, Honorable Kehinde Sogunle, our Baba in the house, Engineer Kipelu Sogunle, the senatorial leader of Ogun West, also here present. All the comrades on this call who have contributed and done, worked immensely. Some of you, we don't even know you. You worked in your own little corner and you contributed your quota. I must say that the spirit of Labour Party recognizes your efforts, and in due course, that same spirit, and when I say spirit, I know what I'm talking about. That same spirit will also bring you forth for you to be rewarded and recognized duly. Appreciate everyone. Thank you very much, Mr. Ayo, for anchoring this session so far. When I heard everyone speak tonight, one thing I'm grateful for is that finally it appears that we are all waking up, and that there are actually more people that mean well for the party, for the country, than the very few elements who are parading themselves and destroying our names and making it look like, can anything come out of our Bethlehem or our Jerusalem? So first and foremost, I mean, that is something to, to really be happy about. It means that we have people who deep down within themselves, know that something is wrong and they want to correct it. Like someone mentioned here, the people who are most confused right now in Nigeria are those one, they voted for Tinubu, although he did not win, he smuggled himself in. They see what is happening now, and yet they are still hell bent on supporting him. Those are the people I consider the most miserable because they are giving light, but they think the darkness they have with them, if darkness were to be light, can show them way out of the tunnel. And I can tell you they are never going to get out of that tunnel except they accept the light that is being given to them. So this is a ray of hope. Now, let me address something very important. Having this in mind that we have people who mean well. If you ask me, I think the major problem we have right now, wherever we are having issues that things are not happening, the major issue borders around leadership, right? And when I say leadership, don't let your mind go straight to the state leader, or you say, oh, the mind goes straight to the LGA leader, or the next person you're thinking of is hand. Leadership, that must be my word leader. No, it's about each and every one of us here. The call on leadership or the call of leadership that I'm referring to now means that every one of us here on this call and everyone that means well for this party must wear a leadership, what is it, a coat of leadership on themselves. What it means is that you must assume an automatic role to make a difference and start something. All right. Let me give you an example. While before the election approached, before we got very close to the election, we were very active in the support group. And then we had a meeting in Obafemi Owode with one of the support groups. I think it was TBN. And there was this conversation like, let us work as a support group. Oh, we don't want to go with the party. Oh, this and this. Deep down within me, I'm like, do these people know what they are doing? I already know that leading to the election, on the day of election and after the election, everything about support group will be watered down. You will hardly hear anything about support. The only thing that would stay before the election, close to the election, on election day and after the election is political party. So I submitted there and then that we should see how we integrate ourselves into the political parties and start getting actively involved. The persons that took that initiative they started making changes. Their entrance into these political parties brought in fresh blood and fresh ideas. There is no doubt saying that the most vibrant and the smartest and the most intelligent people right now in this movement are still locked in support groups. They're still locked there. And if we don't come out to inundate this party fabric, there is no way we'll be able to cause change. Now, the little inundation we are having now is why there is little troubling of the waters. Otherwise, if it were to be the former gang and the area boys and everyone, there won't be trouble because they understand themselves. But it is because there is an introduction of fresh blood, fresh ideas that is antithetical to what they've known. That is not resonating with what has been on ground. That is the reason why we are having some slight, disconformity at the moment. And this disconformity is going to bet a proper alignment, a proper political alignment as we move on. Let me congratulate everyone currently who has a mind for good. People who are concerned about corruption and integrity issues. People who think that no, things should be done well. That is the best position of mind you can be right now. And I can assure you that things are going to happen very soon. A lot of things are currently being put in place. We are hoping that once we get leadership, assigned leadership heads, once those things are gotten correctly, a lot of things will begin to fall in place. At the what is currently going on is obvious to everyone at the world level and at the LGA level. What we have at the moment is registration. Okay, registration of members, and let's not deceive ourselves. We cannot be expecting too much activity at this time. All right, and there are reasons for that. One, the activities we experienced the last time. Though we were all ecstatic about the activities we experienced the last time we talked about activities was because the election was ahead of us. So any activity we are seeing now, there are things that will be deliberately planned. And again, activities that you see are financed. All right. There were a lot of blunders that were made in during the last election, during the election, after the election, which if some things were well managed, we would, for now as a party, we would not be crying about resources. There will be resources on ground to fuel some of these little things that we are talking about. But again, majority of those who were in the old order, they saw to it that the resources that we could have depended on as a party was drained dry. Okay, so any individual now who wants to put down resources for party activities will actually be someone who knows what they are doing, who wants to contribute in their own quota, and those things don't happen too often when we are not approaching an election. So how activities will run very well, we will see how that plays out. But currently, if you need to register, you might want to reach out to your LGA chairman and your ward leader. If they are not responding to you, you can reach out to me. I will get the particular LGA you belong to, and then I'll see how you can get registered. But let me state unequivocally that Labour Party Ogun State will survive. As a matter of fact, currently we are already surviving, and we are going to become a flagship party that every other state in the country will be looking up to. We have been under the tutelage of engineer Kimpel Shogunle and then Kendi Shogunle. We have learned so much from them. We saw the utopic idea they have about how this party should look like, but just that we have so much oppositions, beating here and there, that is making it look like these visions and these very beautiful ideas will not come, but they will come to play. It's only a matter of time. So please, okay, something happened, recently when I had the privilege to be invited to Labour Party's Lagos State inauguration of their LGS schools, and there was something I noticed, there. It was the fact that more than 80% of their leadership structure, all right, is filled up with youth. And I'm not mincing words. People who are enlightened, people, when you even listen to that, you know that this one has something to contribute. And that is the reason why I'm saying support group. Stop staying where you are. Inundate the party system. Take over world leadership. Take over LGA leadership. Do a lot. I mean, don't fold your hands and look. Whatever you can do, please do. We are in a time when people need to rise up to leadership. Don't wait until you are called. If there's anything you need to do, please do. If your immediate leader in your ward LGA is not recognizing you, look for the attention of the state or anybody that you see leadership in and say, this is me. This is what I do. This is what I want to do. These are my plan. How can you help me express my plan? How can you help me push this thing? My leader is not listening to me. Can you help me talk to my leader? Whatever you can do to ensure that that good thing you have in your mind, don't keep talking. And let me tell us, complaining should be out of our lips. If you would need to keep reverberating what you need to do to make sure Labour Party survives, keep doing it. We will not complain, because complaining does not bring about anything good, because even the person you are complaining to has his own issues to manage. Okay, so if we have gotten to this level, I can assure you we will scale through. Let me be frank with us. The likes of Arabambia and the rest of them, they have been completely decimated. They are like political orphans as we speak. So let us focus on how we can build this party that we have now. And I'm hoping that, I don't know what the caretaker committee leadership, what's happening around there right now, but let us just look towards the Congress. As the Congress comes, by the grace of God, we are looking at a situation whereby we will have reputable leaders instated as, elected as our state leaders, LGA leaders, and ward leaders. At that point, there will be no excuse anymore because we have statutory and constitutionally recognized leaders. There will be no excuse for any laybackness or whatever. It will be going forward, innovative ideas to make this party a party of our dream. It will interest you to know further that most of these political and leaders that we have around Nigeria, even in so-called in Lagos State, most of them emanate from Ogun State. I was speaking with the deputy, state chairman of Labour Party. The man happened to be from, I think, from Ikenne or Adodota or somewhere. Even the Labour Party state chairman, the woman, Pastor Ekong, lived most of her life in Ogun State. So is it that Ogun State wants to be the one producing all the good, at the same time producing the bad, and Ogun State itself does not want to have any peace or any direction? No, we won't allow that. So whatever you can do, please do. We may not have answers to all the solutions because we are all here to provide answers. But at the same time, please, we must be motivated, extra motivated. There is no room for mediocrity. There is no room for destroyers. There is no room for people that would kill our spirit. And that is all I have to say for now. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you so much, Miss Engineer Ojo Patrick Duke. I love those names so well. These were some of the people, part of the people that saw into the future and said, okay, rather than for us to be humiliated by these people that we met in Labour Party, we'll rather fight it through and of course win them at the end of the day. We are on the verge of winning. Brethren, let's be inspired. This is a time that we need our energy the most. This is the time we need our motivation the most. Because if you look at it, once a Congress establishes nuisance as executives of either ward or local government or state, then it will become a road mantle for us, where we begin to run around circles. So if you don't want to experience what we've experienced in Labour Party before, I think it's now is the time to galvanize people that have self-worth, full of integrity, have antecedents that can speak for them, being canvassed, being intimated with the necessary information to join this movement at the grassroots from the ward. Because if you look at it, if you allow these people conceptualize themselves into the words, all those people, Isaiah, all those people you're talking about, that they are doing anything they are doing for money, and they are the majority in the world. Of course, definitely, the leg of the Labour Party at the state has started having problems from the world. Because those are the same people that they will pay in the future to, suspend somebody or expel somebody, just like Kabure is facing in his ward now. People that don't have any form of principles and ideologies. So it is now that we need to galvanize ourselves and make sure that we are in the majority, because at the end of the day, Labour Party is also a platform every other Nigerian, either the most corrupt person in the country, can also walk into some other time and become a member. And that's what the opportunity that we have had over the time to experience practical politics. It's not the theoretical politics. We think we can isolate ourselves. We are the good people's party. No! Look at all of the senators and House of Rep members that went to National Assembly. How many of them have you heard speaking out against the money that they are collecting? People that just entered, though. So what does that tell you? It tells you that any Tom, Dick, and Harry can eventually be members of any political party according to the constitution of the country. But it is left to us to enshrine a foundation based on ideologies. And it is left to us to not close our two eyes at our ward level, such that the ideology is passed on from generations to generations. Just like you see PDP passing on how to rig and manipulate the system from generation to generation. You saw APC using propaganda to come into power and finish everything. You see it passing from generation to generation. They lie a lot. So for us in Labour Party, we want to do things differently. We want to have an ideology where money would not be a determinant. We want the best of us to be representing us, not the richest of us representing us. So thank you so much, Mr. Duke. You have really submitted so much. We have about 30 more minutes to round up, or even less than that. So I will be trying to observe. Okay, there are hands that are up, but I think they have all spoken before. So I'm going to take some more talk or contributions from Comrade Kennedy. I don't know if Baba is ready to talk now. Okay, he's no more on the call. So
I think we should allow. There's a Chief Samuel Olaolu, the chairman of the Chagam local government. I think he needs to chip in. I see him here.
Yes. Apologies, the ever vibrant chairman, the only courageous man that stepped out, when they were demanding for leadership in Labour Party. And you see, these are the people we need to give credit to. When all of us were still mourning our heartbreaks, this man, rose up from his own heartbreak, because I think his heartbreak was even more than even our own. But he rose up from it and said, no, rather than giving up now, I'm going to throw my wings into the ring to contest for the chairmanship of this party. And I must give kudos to that courage that he has exemplified. And of course, and that's why I will be recognizing him today. The Shagamu local government chairman, and of course, one of the aspirants for the chairmanship of the party, Mr. Elder Samuel Olaolu. Please give us some words of advice and some inspiration tonight, sir. Is Mr. Samuel Olaolu, sir, are you there? Okay, while we wait for him to join us, of course, Comrade Kehinde Shogunle can still give us some words before we come back to. Let's be sure that the people that are raising their hands they didn't forget their hands there, so that we'll know who to observe after Comrade Shogunle gives us some bits. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much for the contributions, the suggestions, and even the issues that we have raised. And I think Comrade Ojo has actually done quite a lot of work in answering those questions. All politics, they say, is very local. So all politics starts at actually is effective at the grassroots. And when we recognize that from even the tribunal that is going on now, we will that polling units are becoming very important, and polling units are at the grassroots. We realize that we must begin to do even what we call polling unit politics, so that we can know that we are where we are strong and where we are weak. And I think that this is one thing that I think has to happen. Like we said, first of all, to join a government, I'd like to congratulate all of us. First of all of us that are here, for being faithful and being hopeful that something different can happen. It has already started happening, and it will continue. We have had so many victories. We may not know. We may not have been victorious at the election. We may not have been victorious at anything, but we have had victories. This whole movement around let's join the party started from NSAS. A lot of us we don't know. Some of us got inspired by what the youth did during NSAS, and we supported what the people did. They held the country to ransom. They wanted a difference, and we saw that we needed to support them. And we saw that if young people and even people who wanted righteousness rise, they can actually take charge. And that's what they did during NSAS. It set a lot of tones running, that something different can happen. And that difference, that's something that can happen. It was translated to OBIdient today. That something different can happen. It's what has translated to Labour Party today and OB itself today. And for us to be recognized today as the de facto third party, third force that will likely win, we should congratulate ourselves. It's not just Obi that made it happen. It was all of us that supported Obi, because most of the people in NSAS are the ones that are supporting Obi today. And they are the ones that have given Labour Party even a relevance. Before March last year, Labour Party was just a normal, ordinary, not even normal, ordinary party that was just there for the purpose of selling tickets for people to win elections. They have not won. In fact, I don't think all over the federation, go and check their results in 2023. In 2019, I don't think it's up to 10,000 all over the federation. So for now, for them to be contesting for presidency and not to support a candidate to almost be winning the election in a state, we should be clapping for ourselves that we have done a lot of work. Clearly speaking today, our participation and our alliance last time with Ogun State was all led to at least what we are seeing now that can create a lot of change in Ogun State. Today, and a lot of people not say, we are held high, in high respects by the existing parties, both APC and PDP. I can tell you today, I represent you, and I know that the way they respect me as a probably leader of the party, as a candidate of the party, is very high, both in APC and in PDP. So we should, and that can only be made possible because all of us rose up at the time we rose up. There be in the process of rising number, and today the other issue is that if they are talking about any change, that's any change today at the Labour Party level, we caused it in Ogun State. It's because we as people rose up to the likes of Arabambi who are using the party to collect money from candidates, and we said no, we will not accept that. And we were duly nominated, we were duly elected as a candidate of the party. We need to get our name on the ballot. It's because we pushed it. That's where we have the crisis in the Labour Party today. That's why they are almost forgotten in the party today. And I know at the end of the day, righteousness will prevail. Whatever they are trying to do is just by the wayside. Whatever court action they are pushing is not going to win anywhere. At the end of the day, everybody knows that they are just confusionists. And that's what they have been doing before. It has now come thus far publicly. Even in our state, they can come publicly to say they are endorsing APC. They have frustrated us. They will know that they don't have the interest of Labour Party at that. It was only their pocket they have at that. Even at the national level, they have been saying so many things about Obi himself, saying so many things about so many people. We just know that they are just political mercenaries. They will not find their way into Labour Party again. All these ones they are saying about taking to court or whatever, at the end of the day, it will settle down. They will not be in that party. And since we started it, we can also start the reformation of Labour Party because we have interacted. That's what I need to tell you. We have interacted not only in the Labour Party here, we have interacted with Labour Party at the national level, and we recognize that there needs to be a change in Labour Party. When this storm is over, when this conflict, whether court or no court, is over, that change must happen. And we are moving from our state to create the change we have created in the state. We are going to move to the national to also create it. So that's why we need the support of each and every one of us, because we know who to talk to, and we want to know what we need to tell them. Because this is not, never again will a party be that people will collect forms and their names will not come out. We cannot say that this thing is not without the connivance of the people at the national level, because this is what they have been doing. Anybody that wants to contest in the Labour Party, whether he has money or doesn't money, will contest for election. If he gets nominated as a candidate, as an aspirant, as a candidate, he will get his name on their neck. There's no way they will stop it again. It cannot happen in that party, and we are going to champion it. Because that thing dampen the hope of people. If we run around with all the potential we have, and they will not give anybody any ticket. It's fraudulent, which is not good at all. That's one of the things we need to congratulate ourselves for, that we were able to stand that. Despite all of that, other parties in the states saw us as a bargain, as a bride. APC was calling us PDP, and we decided to align with PDP. Even today, we have held ourselves high in the rating of PDP. And we pray to them that they win that election. You will see the way they will recognize us. It was going to be like, it will be like it's our government. I can give you that assurance, the way we are recognized. And once we have that, we did not merge with PDP. We did not decamp to PDP. We aligned because we believe that we are a party that has a future. And we are just together for the purpose of winning the election. And this is not the first time we're going to be having an alliance government. During Shagari, they did it. And they decided how they are going to split the minister. So we can still have our party and still don't be part of the government that's going to come. So that's the hope for us. And you know that by the time we are getting to government, we then have resources to be able to even build a party properly. So I need to come. So that's why we should not lose hope. We should not think because whatever has happened, particularly the youths, people like Asaya, they should not lose hope. We still have a ray of hope. We have succeeded up to a point. All this movement, everything started for some of us within the last 1 year, let's say 1.5 years, 15 months. And today we are a party to be reckoned with. We are a people to be reckoned with. So let me congratulate us for that. So what I then need to also say is that, like you mentioned, let us take charge and look at, don't be complaining about one leader or no leader. When you see that something is not happening in your area, organize it. I've seen people who have done it. Ojo has mentioned what happened in Obafemi Owode. He's from a support group. He's not the chairman of Obafemi Owode local government. Somebody in Ewekoro also did the same thing. He saw that nothing was happening in Ewekoro. And things were they're supposed to do and they're not doing. He rose up and the people selected him as the chairman. So let us, in any place that we have, in our ward, we see that something not happening, let's begin to organize in our wards, in our local governments, and to make sure that we rally people around us. The message is simple. How many of the people living today, how many Nigerians today are satisfied with what is going on? We are having almost 8 years now, running to 8 years of PPC government. And in the past 60 or 70 days, we see what they have put our country. Anybody that still believes that he wants to support APC is a compound fool. So the hope for the nation is the Labour Party. PDP has had their 12 years, they messed it up. APC is having their own now. They have clearly messed it up. So if anything happens, so we are the party of the future, and they're looking up to us. But they will only align with us if we are organized, if we are strong. And because they also see us as youths, they love them saying, maybe let us try this youth. All these other parties, APC and PDP, most of their functionaries have their children as OBIdient, as Labour Party people. So those children have to now rise up. They know that their time is limited, that their time is getting up. So that's why we should not lose hope. And that's why some of us is giving us some of us inspiration. We have been disappointed. I have been personally disappointed in not getting the ticket, in the way some of our school members acted when we did the alliance. I was thoroughly disappointed. I was thoroughly embarrassed by what they did because we thought we knew them. Unfortunately, when they showed their fangs, we knew that they were there only for what they can get, not to build a party. But have we put that behind us? A lot of people will lose. There are so many complaints, I know. For anybody that has not been fairly treated, I will say generally I will apologize. But my hope is that let that one go. Then let us, when we start a new life, God will repay us for what we have lost. And by God's grace, when we have a good organization that is based on integrity, in honesty, in service, in competence, in capability, anybody that has worked for this party will get his own reward by God's grace. And that's one of the reasons I put myself forward. Or I was encouraged to put myself forward to serve the people. And that is my commitment. And what I'm interested in is to have committed people. And we don't even have a way of seeing them. That's one of the reasons why I encourage this thing that I said, let's be talking. So they can have people who are committed. Because they walk through the local government chairman or their ward chairman or their ESCO member, and we will know them. I wouldn't have no Isaiah from anywhere, but I've seen the way he has talked today. A lot of people have spoken today, Jethro, Johnson, Osuji. Osuji said there is a course with me. I know we will meet one of these days. We will resolve it. If you are still not committed, we will not be here. So how will I know when we don't have interaction? So we need to be having this regularly so that we can begin to plan ourselves about how we want to build ourselves. So we have hope. We are making the change already. It's happening. God hearing our prayer. Something will happen with AOB. We may get it. We may get the ticket. If we have to do a rerun, we will rapidly. The structure is almost available for us to get to get organized to do a rerun. Don't despair. Nigerians are not happy with APC government. So if there happens to be a rerun now, they will all vote for Labour Party. They always want to come and join Labour Party. But in coming to join Labour Party and vote for Labour Party, what we have seen with the election is that we have to be organized. If you don't have organization, even when they want to vote, they might waste the votes. And that's why I like what is happening particularly among the party chairmen, who have now come together to say we are Labour Party chairman, even when we have not been formally chosen. We are there. We are together, working together. So when anybody is coming now, there's going to be a run now. You see all the local government chairman working to make sure that there is a house that can accommodate people that want to join us, people that want to work with us to change Nigeria. They are there. And so let us find them. We have been posting in the platforms the phone numbers of all the local government chairman. In your local government, find the number, call him and say you want to register. Call him, you want to act in your ward. I know they will be very receptive to work with you. So I see a new future that happening. A lot of things are going to happen. We have planned a lot of programs, but we are just saying, look, let's wait and let's see how the tribunal decision goes, and then we can unleash it. You know, some of you may know, we started an academy of politics and governance to train and identify potential, those who can actually hold political positions at the world level, at the local government level, at the state level, and even who can contest. But these people, they know what they were doing. They disturbed it. They frustrated local government. They said local government chairman should not send people there. If we have been running this academy of politics and local government now, politics and governance now, we have been able to identify people. I did it for them in PDP before. I trained more than 1,500 people in the political academy. Today, some of them are functionaries in the parties today. We can as well do that in Labour Party. And I think one of the things we're going to have, so that people will understand how to run a ward, how to run the local government, what is politics, how do you build, what is the benefit of membership. That is going to happen. So we even polling agents, for example, during the last election, it was 2 or 3 weeks to the election that they gave us the key to polling agents. When they have given us that key a year before election, they trained them how to train polling agents, how to select them, how to make them work. We couldn't get ourselves ready. We were out of 5,042, we were barely able to get 3,000 and something in 2 weeks. And a lot of people put a lot of efforts to make that happen. People like Ojo in Obafemi, people like even Faloye, even like Bolutife, they were not sleeping to make sure that we were able to file in polling agent. Yet they have told these people in our party that we need to have polling agent. They didn't take it serious. This time around, even right now, once we get the ESCO in place, once we get the Congress and we have the ESCO at all level, we are going to start training polling agents. We realize that polling agents is the key to election. If you don't have competent polling agents, they can do anything for you. And the material for training them is available. We have them, we can train them. And so people will then have certification as polling agents. If you're a polling agent and you are leaving that polling unit, you have a duty. There's something what we now call PUSH, Polling Unit Support Host. We even call it CASH now, Community Action Support Host. Those who work inside, those are grassroots people, those who work inside communities. We will begin to work with the party or with the local government on how we can create people to organize around polling units. Even before you get to ward, around polling units. So that when you are describing yourself, you are not going to talk about Jew ward. We are going to talk about the polling unit you are working. Luckily now we now have statistics of every voter. We have the register of every voter in every polling unit. Even as we go on now, we are going to be discussing how do we mobilize at the polling unit. If you want to work in a particular unit, I can give you the list of all the registered voters in that polling unit. We can get the list and you can look for them. We can even get their phone numbers so that you can begin to organize them to register in your polling unit. So now we have exposed ourselves to the party. The party is not now managed in the dark by a caucus of people in them. It is now open. And it is only by involving ourselves like this, that's when we can then begin to organize. And election is still 4 years away. If I also had now, even local government election is going to be maybe next year. We are going to begin to, once we build our structure, we are going to work with each and every one of us to organize around your polling unit. So we begin to know which polling units you are strong and which polling you are not strong. It's not going to be even voluntary. We are going to be soliciting for them, for people, so that we can have a party that is grassroots rooted. Because what happens is that people who come to grassroots, they only come when they feel that something is going to happen. But if you pursue them and you train them and everything, and they know that they're in that particular polling unit and they have things to do in that polling unit, you can be growing yourself in that polling unit. So in terms of grassroots, that's the strategy we are going to follow. We are going to work with the party. Whoever becomes the chairman, we're going to sit down with him to make sure that it drives the party's development right down to the polling units. In terms of what other thing? Holding rally today, holding rally, because how many parties are holding rally? It's a good idea, but let us even see the outcome of our tribunals, both at the federal and the state level. Then the rally will be justified. The issues at the national level are still being contested. Even the one they did is in Benin. There's another one in Abuja. So it's not yet rule at that level, but let us be patient and be dealing with that. And we already know our enemies. The Arabic people cannot come here and say they want to lead the party now. No, but who will follow them? Whoever wants to follow them is just deceiving himself. So let us stay with ourselves. Let us continue. We hold on the right issue, and at the right time we will do it. We have been talking about how do we generate funding, how do we generate financing. If what happened during the election we're supposed to be taken into consideration, we don't need to be thinking about funding for ourselves again. But we saw ourselves, we saw how greedy people are and how determined they are to get as much money for as possible. But let's put that behind us. God will create a ways by which we would raise the funding, even within ourselves, to make sure that we get the funding to support this party. When the run comes, no worry. Once we have our structure, we will be ready to do the run. So what I'm here to say is that let us take leadership. Let us show commitment. What is happening in this country today requires Labour Party. We have now seen in just few days, we know that Labour APC has failed. Nobody can go in the public and say, I am APC. Everybody knows what all their policies have failed. They even wanted to put us into war. So they can't trust PDP. They can't trust. It's our Labour Party that they must trust. So we are conscious of that, and we want to build that party to make sure that we are ready for whatever happens. So I thank all of us for coming, and some of the issues we have raised. It shows we are still committed. We like this party. I want this conversation to continue, and that I want us to continue to have hope that something positive will happen. Fill the form, and I think they send a link. If all of us are here, if you go and check the link in the advert, fill it so that we know your details, and we'll get back to you later. Because we are using this also to discover people that are responsible that we can also support to win positions or to occupy positions in the party. While I was talking, I saw the deputy governorship candidate of Labour Party, Dr. Aishat Lawa, joining us. You are welcome to this virtual meeting. You're very much welcome. So thank you, every one of us. Let us continue to have hope. Let us show leadership. Let us believe that Labour Party is the party of hope, of the future, and it will take us. It will take our contribution to make it happen. Where there is no leader, let us be the leader, and let us connect to other people to build the party that we really deserve and we think that can change Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Wow, thank you so much. Don't mind the background noise you're going to be hearing. I am on the streets trying to get to the mosque to pray. But again, I want to appreciate all our contributions. Time is fast spent. So I'm going to be throwing a poll. I think they will be conducting a poll for us so that we can ask if this meeting can happen again, maybe next week, maybe next 2 weeks. So I don't know. Obot, can we do a poll very quickly?
How do you do the poll? Okay, while you are trying to consult the poll, let us allow the deputy governor to say a word or two to us.
Oh, please, yes. Please, you can go ahead and address us very quickly. Thank you. You're welcome, ma.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
My able governorship candidate, I really appreciate you and I really commend you for this meeting. And I hope we form a formidable team and a formidable party because we have a lot to give to Ogun State. So I trust Almighty Allah will assist us and let us get to the promised land. So thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate everybody. Thank you and God bless us all. Good night.
Thank you very much. I also see Mr. About for the number of talk, I've seen Mr. Elder Samuel Olaolu has now indicated his hand to talk. Can you say a word or two now while we're trying to wrap up? Elder Olaolu. Elder Olaolu, your hands are up. Okay, while she's also
while he's also trying to prepare to get himself up. I also see Mrs. Titilola Ero joining us up and down, one of our elders in the party, one of the committed elders we have in the party. Can you say one or two things so that to us, Madam? They're not there. Okay, you can talk now. You have also have raised your hand, so you can then talk. Remove, press the mic. So who is talking now? If you're Chuku, you want to say something? Mrs. Ero, can you lift your mic and say?
Hello.
Yes. Chetro, you want to say something? Yeah, good.
Yeah, please. I want to appreciate everyone that is here this night. I've seen my governorship candidate. You have spoken so well. You always have my mind all the time. I believe your words. I want to say that for some times now, if not for this platform, I know that so many people will be suspecting a kind of maybe some doubt, will be having some doubt. But I believe that with this kind of program, with this kind of platform, those doubts will be doused. Tension will get down, and people will know that we are all working towards one goal. But even among 12, there must be Judas. So I know that there will be people that are just there, just going after the money, looking for the money, where the money is. I think it's a Nigerian thing, but as we have tried to signify this night, that Labour is coming to show something different. We cannot be doing the same thing and expect a different result. We need to do something different. There are so many committed persons. I have so many people here who are in the same forum where we are coming from. I am not surprised that they are here because they are active in the group where we are together with. Someone like Jethro is in a platform where I heard, and I know how active he is. I know what we did at the level of water. So I just want to douse our doubt that we can do something. We can actually win. We can do something different from what the people have been doing, what Nigerians have been saying. We are still sleeping in Nigeria. We need to wake up. We need to wake up because a lot is happening. Our children, the future of our children is bleak. Our own life is also not what it should be. We can do something better. So what has happened, we just need to learn from that part and forge ahead. We should move ahead. We should move ahead. We should try and get this escrow of a thing. We should get it resolved. For me, I don't want any particular position. I don't want any post. I am not interested. What I'm interested of is how we can get things going well. My own, I'm from Enugu State. I may not want to have anything here because I don't even want a situation where they'll be saying I am Igbo, I am Yoruba. No. So I don't even want any position. But I want things to be done right. I want things to be done right. And I've been trying my possible best to make sure that from my own end, I fulfill what I think is good. And so what I just want to stress here is that we need this platform. There is no need even talking about when it's just getting the right time for us to have another meeting. I am in for another meeting and as many as possible that we can have, so that we will be directed on the course that my people say when you urinate together, it will form, there's a kind of foam it will produce. And that foam will help us to, do things better. Even if we are to, the resources get together, we'll be able to use the little resources we have contributed to make things happen. But we need to start defining where the source is, not because during the last this thing, anything you want to do, it requires money, and most times you will just be handicapped. You might not be able to do what you want to do. Though there are so many things we can do without money. It is well defined, but we also need money. So if it's from the time go through this registration, if they are using money to do this registration, the account should be kept clean. 10 naira coming from there should be kept clean. And you cannot do that when you have bad escorts, when you have appointed people who are just after money. There's a need that whatever gets to you, if you spend it, you paste it, you write it down, account statement, print things, so that it will be very clear to everyone that is involved. And when it is very, very clear to everyone that is involved, they won't be saying you are taking their money. So I would like, as we are starting afresh, as we are starting new, from the word go, let everything still be transparent. I want to drop here and to say that I will be much available if in the next 2 weeks or a fortnight, if another thing like this, online conversation like this can come up. There's a need we discuss. So you cannot overemphasize it. There's a need that we meet. There's a need that we discuss. Thank you, and may the good Lord continue to bless the effort of our hands in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you so much. The voice sounds so familiar. Is it the same Augustine that I know?
Yes, this is from Ogun Augustine. Yes.
Ah, my brother. Well done. I'm not surprised that you are here. These were some of the people we visited markets across the state together during the campaign. You see, the funny thing about the eventualities of Labour Party is that we were committed to this cause without desperation for money and all of that. I think those are the people that are here today. And probably in the weeks ahead, we also have some other of us join us. The truth is, we cannot afford to let our guards down now for all of the sacrifices. You see that GCPO was not involved in we were tussling for money and all that, because we knew that what we had in our hands was bigger than anything. Do you know what we have done in Ogun State? You extinguished radicals in the political space, radicals that could not be dealt with by the governor, by sitting governor. We, in our collective effort, we threw them out of this party and we are taking over. You won't appreciate what you have achieved now, but going forward, we will see what we have achieved. And I'm also seeing that there's been a suggestion that we should repeat this every 2 weeks. I don't know if that will be okay by us, but most importantly is that we tell other people, tell somebody to tell somebody that this meeting has been bettered. We give kudos to Ogun Ballot Revolution. Thank you for this beautiful thing. And of course, we are saying that it will not just be a one-time thing, it will be continuous. And we assure you that we will bring who is who in Labour Party to this platform. This will be where we are going to be demanding for accountability, we'll be demanding for transparency, we'll be demanding for anything we want. But of course, off this platform, we need to take responsibilities at our wards, at our polling units, at our local government. We need to also ask questions the way we are asking here at those places. If you have a recalcitrant person at the helms of affairs, you gather yourselves together and upturn them, because now we don't have something solid until we go into a congress. And if you give people unnecessary due advantage to go into the congress as irresponsible leaders, I mean, you have given them a heads up. So it's better we start trashing it out now at the wards, at the local governments. We need to rally ourselves together and continue to form that formidable and indomitable force. Labour Party Ogun State, only if you know how respected you all are out there. But with time, of course, we'll begin to see it. We have seen PDP rule this state, we have seen APC rule this state, and the difference, we are seeing it, and we are seeing the possibility of what is coming. You need to see how PDP people are really looking out for Labour Party people, but it's going to be unfolding, before our eyes. Let's just pray for them. We have given them technical expertise at the tribunal. We hope that they become successful and they fulfill the other parts of the alliances and give us just a small space to exercise the capacity, technical capacity that we have within this party. And that is what we want to preach. It's about what we are bringing to the table, not about how many years you have spent in Labour Party. This party was better in my hands 16 years ago. No, 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 no. It's about what you're bringing to bear, to bear at the ward level, at the local government. And we must congratulate some of these elders that have tried so much tonight. We congratulate and appreciate Comrade Kehinde Shogunle, the secretary to the committee of chairmen, Engineer Patrick Duke Ojo. We thank you so much. We also appreciate the deputy chairman, Ogun West Senatorial District, Adeshola Akib, Comrade Adeshola Akib. We thank you so much. Oh, Mrs. Titilola Eru, she's here. Let's have some words from you. I think your connection is good now. I can see that your hands are up again. Can we have you shortly, 2 minutes, so that we can round up this meeting? We want to be exemplary in our ways. We said 2 hours. We're going to be doing 2 hours. Miss Titilola, have the floor, ma.
Hello, good evening, everyone. I really appreciate everybody and all the contributions we've been hearing since. The meeting is quite on the right footing and we are going somewhere. I appreciate everything and I hope that we are able to do this regularly and our goals shall be fulfilled. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Mama. Mrs. Titulola Eru, are you which local government? Your ward?
I'm in Abeokuta South. And
Okay.
I'm Ward 2.
Thank you so much. Ward 2. Oh, fantastic. So, some of the people in Abeokuta South, you already have some of your devoted, committed, dedicated leaders here. You can always reach out to her. I think.
I also see Mr. Olaolu. I don't know whether his hands are up, and I've been trying to make him say something.
Mr. Samuel Olaolu, elderly comrade.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir. Good evening. Egberun Samu. Good evening, sir.
Egberun Samu le Samu Ọlọ́run lọ́wọ́.
Yes, so you're welcome, sir.
Thank you for the encomium showered on me, and I just want to chip in this that I should that Mr. Ojo Patrick Duke had been economical with our plans for the party in the state. Maybe probably because we are in the outer space and we believe we have been working seriously all together all this while. And I want to commend him here. He is worthy of commendation. He is like an engine room for us now. Mr. Ojo Duke, yeah, he is more or less an engine room. At any point in time that we call on him to do something, he will do it with little or no supervision. If you can see more of the people like him in Labour Party, I think we will be ahead. He has been doing wonderfully for us. He has been doing wonderfully. And I want to tell you this. You said the other time that when we were broken-hearted, I'm also broken-hearted. But from time immemorial, that has been my source of inspiration. Whenever I'm broken-hearted, I will make sure that the thing that broke my heart will equally be the things that heal my heart. Like Yoruba will say, that a pilafi wepe. So I don't believe in something breaking me down, or things in my front becoming my stumbling block or any other thing. If I cannot blast it, I will rather walk around it and continue my journey in life. And I believe that is what every one of us should be doing. We should forget the past now. We should be looking towards tomorrow. Yesterday is gone and gone forever. We can only
Elder Samuel's network is
time of
hello,
electioneering.
can anyone hear me?
Oh, you can't hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you from here.
Okay. Many of us may be heartbroken, like I was saying, that we should forget about it. Yesterday is gone. We should make tomorrow our day. Tomorrow is there for us. Tomorrow is another day. Thank you.
Thank you very
so
much. Yeah. Yeah, there are still some people who are putting, I don't know whether it's by mistake. They have spoken before, but their hands are still up. Maybe they have one or two
Okay,
things.
Mr. Taiwo, one minute. We are rounding up. Mr. Taiwo,
I'm
next
supposed to have
Osuji.
finished at 8 o'clock, yes.
All right. So, Mr. Taiwo, please, you can have the mic. 1 minute. Okay, Mr. Osuji, you can have the mic. 1 minute.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you for giving this opportunity. Firstly, I want to ask a question. If I want to ask question to my Oga KS, I'm having an issue with you, as I said, I will settle it. My question is, number one, Ogun State, are they still having East Coast? Because as I'm talking to you now, by the special grace of God, some set of people come and meet me last week, and they spoke to me. When they spoke to me, and we started meeting. That was last 3 weeks. Sorry, last 3 weeks. We started a meeting in my ward because we want to create that ward. The chairman of my ward, which I am the vice chairman, I will never accept him to be in that position again. So we started moving, trying to build new Labour Party. That's the own move. Even before I get the notice of this meeting, we have already started in my ward. I mean, was 6 of Shelley of the local government. So we have started the move already. I'm trying to relate my brother that in the side and the Olodo. So I want to relate. I have already planned to relate with them so that they can come our meeting, so that I can be able to meet on Sundays 4 o'clock. So that's why I want to service. And those people have not be paid. I have agents that have not been paid. My chairman of my ward have not paid until now.
I think. Okay, go ahead and finish so that I can quickly address
the
that.
chairman of my ward, which you know very well, Boluwatife, have not paid until now. And I'm challenging him. If he says he's innocent, let him go and pay the account, statement of account, and know how much they sent to him. I know. He was not around that day on the day of governorship election. I was the one on ground. I mobilized people to work. He come and take money from them and tell me that the name I submitted to him, I'm lying. So
okay, don't worry. Let us take other local government issue out of. We will discuss it. I will call a meeting between you.
Those one
Glasgow
Kicker. With your local government, please. That one is not.
Nobody should mention kick again. Yeah, please. That didn't get me irritated. So, but me, in my own word, I have already started meeting, pulling in by 3 minutes because I discover I have over 25. I have 25 units in this place. Then I not have all agents in all of them. I have to do agents in 2 or 3 places on the day of election. So I have already started working on it. We have a meeting every Sunday by 4 o'clock. So please,
no problem. Let us. We will take the case of Obafemi, other local government, Osuji.
And I'm in my place of work. I'm begging to leave now, please, because I want to be on my own.
No problem.
No, we will also round up very soon. But tell somebody to tell someone that we are holding this meeting again in the next 2 weeks. Is that agreed by the House?
Yes,
is that agreed by the House? Okay, next 2 weeks we are going to publicize this. Make sure that you keep in touch with the Ogun Ballot Revolution handle, either on Twitter or on Instagram. This is where we will be closing the curtain for the first edition of this town hall meeting, which is different from Ballot Blue.
My answer be
this one no be Ballot Blue.
Oh, sorry. Let's take Mr. Moses, but your background is very noisy.
Oh, sorry, I'm driving home. I've wind up.
Can you wind up?
Yes, I've done that.
Okay, please. 1 minute. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for the opportunity. Please, I want us to have this in our mind. Whatever we are doing, I believe in the rule of law. I believe in the orderliness, and I believe in the leadership as well. If we are doing anything and we know we have a constitution, we should be able to know that we follow our due process in our constitution, and whatever anybody is doing that is contrary to our decision, what are the people who are in charge to be able to monitor to follow up and see how we can bring sanctions to one or two persons who will be doing things wrong. We should also carry all those things along as we are planning, please, so that we will have orderliness as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Johnson Moses. It is at this point that we will actually be drawn the curtain. Apologies to people that we have not been able to observe, because we want to also be exemplary in our ways. We said 2 hours of your time, and we want to keep to 2 hours. So, but just be mindful that we are going to repeat this 2 weeks time, and be rest assured that I will bring more elders of the party, even possibly the chairman, to be part of this meeting. And of course, we will continue to engage until Labour Party becomes the exemplary political party in Nigeria. It's all goodness from my side, and I want to appreciate all our elders that came in here today. Of course, thank you so much for yielding to our call, and of course making yourself present here. For the people that contributed so far, we thank you. I remain my humble self, the humanitarian Ayobamigbe Faloyi. Thank you, and have a lovely night rest.
Thank you, bye, everybody.
Thank you. Yeah, bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. We appreciate you. Thank you.